Hello there, my colors. How's everyone doing today? Well, we've had an eventful few days, right? 2 days ago, today's the 27th of June, 2013. 2 days ago was the 14th anniversary of the Michael Jackson death announcement, right? Then, now we had the day after, we have had the Wade Roberson news, right? That Wade Robeson's tentative ruling in the California Appeals Court says that they think that they're going to go ahead and honor the what do you call it? Honor Wade Robeson's claims that he was molested and it was the responsibility of two of MJ's companies to have stopped the molestation. That's what the lawsuit is about, because since Michael Jackson, they think, is legally dead, but he really isn't even legally dead because all the death documents are in the wrong name. He's not even legally dead, right? Because his name is Michael Joe Jackson and all the death documents are in the name of Michael Joseph Jackson. And that could be something that they might bring up. But anyway, because they brought it up in the AEG live trial that they would not stipulate that Michael Jackson was dead. But they did, I guess later on, Michael Joseph Jackson was dead, but they wouldn't stipulate it for 7 days, right? So then they just moved on from there. But this case is against two of Michael's companies. And Wade Robeson and James Safechuck says that Michael Jackson molested them and that it was their company's responsibility, Michael's companies, where he was the sole owner and he was the boss. It was their company that should have stopped the molestation. Now, did anybody in the company witness the molestation? That's where I'm kind of like, where is the sense of this? If there was somebody in the company that witnessed actual molestation, we have never met that person. We have never met anyone who has said that they watched molestation. Now, that maid at Neverland, she said that she saw Vaseline on the nightstand, and she said that there were boys' panties, underwear on the floor out of the shower near the jacuzzi, right? But none of that was substantiated. She testified in the 2005 trial, and the jury did not believe her or any of the other people because they lied for money. Okay, they got paid for money. So, in this civil case with Wade Robeson, right now the California Appeals Court had a tentative ruling saying that we might send it back to the lower court for trial. Right? Even though it's been dismissed by the lower court several times. And the reason why it keeps coming back up, because when Wade Robeson lied because he was mad because he didn't get the job to be the choreographer for the Michael Jackson Immortal show, right? He decided he was going to write this scathing book that Michael molested him as a way to make money. And since no publisher took that book, then he decided to get a lawyer. And then in May of 2013, he went on the Today Show. And then the next day, I think he filed the case, which was May 10th, 2013. One set of lawyers have already said, we're done. We're not doing this anymore. Now there's a second set of lawyers who is taking this and won't let it go because they have so much money invested in it. And I don't know why. So meanwhile, through these 13 years, the statute of limitations first said, no, you're too late. You can't file a claim. It's just too late. The statute of limitation. And that should have been it. That should have been it. Right? But they wanted to finagle and play around and keep it going and keep it in the news and da 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 da. Then the law changed and said there's no more statute of limitations in accusations for child molestation. Now, with Michael Jackson, quote unquote, being dead, they can't sue the individual and it can't be criminal. So what they're doing is they're suing two of Michael's companies. Now, I don't know who in the company saw the molestation. I think that's the biggest thing. Okay. If there was like a vice president who witnessed the molestation, excuse me, who witnessed the molestation and did nothing, you might have a case there. You would definitely have a case because you have a witness that says, I walked in and they were having sex, or Michael was in his butt, or they were doing oral copulation, or something like that. Other than that, you ain't got nothing. We've never heard anything whatsoever to that at all. Okay. Their family in Leaving Neverland, Wade and James's family never saw nothing, right? Never saw nothing, never witnessed anything, right? So when Leaving Neverland, which was the culmination of Wade and James Safechuck's accusations, we found with the whole situation that Michael molested Wade and James. Surrounding that, I have listed 60 lies. Just me, 60 lies. And I'm going to tell you, I haven't dug as deep as I have in the death announcement. Now, I have dug deep because I was credentialed media at Michael's 2005 trial, and I knew, you can watch my documentary, The Trial and Triumph of the King of Pop. You can see in real time how I told the truth and how I led up to Michael Jackson being fully acquitted, which I believed he was fully acquitted, right? Because I'm on camera before the actual verdict saying that, right? Now, I was open, and I still am open, to hear if Michael was a child molester. I'm open, of course. I'm open to it, but I'm not open to speculation, rumor. It could be true. Nobody was in the room. That's duh. That's what the court is for. When people get murdered, maybe nobody's in the room but the person who pulled the trigger and the person that's dead, right? So we know that sometimes there's no one left in the room. We know that, duh. Okay. But so the court of law says, okay, what can we build around this to substantiate or deny a particular situation or crime has happened? So far, Wade and James have zero, nada, but words coming out of their mouth. Okay, what the estate has is 14 out of 14 counts that were not guilty. They got that. They don't have any child pornography at all whatsoever, right? They don't have any DNA, right, of the boy's DNA in Michael's bed mixed in with Michael. They have none of that, right? They have no fingerprints of any kids on Michael's girly magazines, right? Any of Michael's pornography or girly magazines, or even on any of Michael's video pornography movies. They have none of that. So I don't know how the heck we're spending 10 years on this, right? And Wade and James also have lied, either now or later, but they're definitely liars because under oath, Wade was the first witness for the defense in the 2005 trial. Number one. So if Michael molested him, Michael would not let him go first, right? And not even let him testify whatsoever, right? So he said, Michael never molested me, ever, 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 ever. And I love Michael Jackson, and I love him so much that I want to get married at his house, okay, during the 2005 trial, right? During the 2005 trial, asking Grace, can I get married? Okay, none of the kids, none of them grew up to be gay. None of Michael's kids' friends ever grew up to be gay. And we know through books, research, and everything, if your introduction is homosexuality, when you're getting introduced to sex, a lot of times you grow up to be gay if you were molested that way. I'm sorry, gay community. Now, please don't be mad at me. I know you don't want to make it seem like your sexual orientation is attached to something like that, but it is. Science, there's been many, many studies on it, so please don't be mad at me for saying that. Okay, but none of them grew up to be gay. And if Michael was nice and sweet and kind and loving and giving and generous, and he loved you more than just had sex with you, but loved you and did all this, why wouldn't you grow up to be gay? That seems like some pretty good reasons to grow up to be gay, right? If you had a Michael Jackson who was kind and loving and sweet and generous and kind and all that stuff, but none of them did, okay? So where are they going to get anything to substantiate the words coming out of their mouth. Okay, now, if it's a tentative ruling, so there's supposed to be on July 26th some kind of oral argument to where the estate gets to say, Mr. Appeals Court, Mrs. Appeals Court, this is where it should end here. Okay, because it's tentative. It's not 100% going to trial, but a lot of times the tentative rulings end up being the true rulings. So then it would go back down to the lower court, and then we would have a trial. I welcome the trial. I welcome the trial. The reason why I welcome the trial is because I don't know where they're going to substantiate Michael molested them. Okay, they're going to have many kids that said, I slept in Michael Jackson's room too, girls and boys. Okay, and they're going to say, Michael didn't molest me. I didn't see any molestation. I never saw anything like that except for Michael being a kid. And the reason why Michael hung around with prepubescent boys is because they were the main ones that were not going to have a crush on him like little girls. And they don't want to have sex. It's the exact opposite. And I don't hear people saying that. Michael hung around kids so he would not be sexually harassed. Okay, because Michael was a sex symbol. Men and women wanted to have sex with him, right? So prepubescent boys, they want to go-kart, they want to go run and jump, and they want to go climb trees, and they want to play video games, and they just want to be on the trampoline, and Michael wanted to have that kind of fun because Michael felt like he missed out on his childhood because he wanted to work just like Joe wanted him to work. All of them wanted to work. All of the Jacksons did. Okay? Because it was fun. They wanted to be entertainers since they were young kids. And how blessed was Michael to have as much talent as he had, right? Okay, so Michael wanted to relive the childhood, and Joe said Michael's brothers and sisters were his friends. That is true. But Michael had this fantasy, this Disneyland fantasy about reading books and cookies and milk and from watching the Disney movies. And he thought that he missed out on that, or he wanted to relive that fantasy. And Michael, you got to remember, Michael's world was mostly all Black until Thriller. Right? Because Gary, Indiana had the highest percentage of Black people in the nation. Okay, so it was the blackest town in the nation. And Motown was a highly, predominantly Black place. It wasn't 100% Black, but it's like most companies today, where it's the majority white. You got sprinkles and peppers of Black people and other people, but mostly white people. But in Motown, it was the exact opposite. It was the vast majority of Black people with a few white people here and there, right? Then when they signed to CBS, when Michael was in his later teens, in which Cecil's father was the person who Michael reported to and Quincy reported to, right? Then it was a little bit, but they were still in the Black music department, right? It wasn't until, and Michael had interactions with non-Black people, but white people but they were momentary. They were, hi, how are you? Ed Sullivan. Yeah, hi, Ed. It was like little, you're so cute. And it wasn't like a long-term interaction, except for Miss Rose Fine, who was their teacher. Okay, she was their teacher. But it didn't have a lot of white people in his world. And so he had these fantasies of what, childhood was supposed to be, and he thought he missed out on it. And I guess his brothers and sisters weren't good enough. He still felt like he needed to live his childhood. And it's really, I believe, that simple. I believe it's that simple, that he just wanted to relive his childhood. He did not have any interest in sex because he had the vitiligo. Right? He had the vitiligo, he had the spotted up body. Then when he got burned and when he was like, 20, he was 84, 25, when he was 25 years old, he had, 25, because, that was the exact middle day birthday, August 29th, 1958 to June 25th, 2009, the exact middle day was the Pepsi burn. And that's when his life changed. But he had the Pepsi burn. So Michael was shy anyway. And then you add, that he had the vitiligo and that he had the balding on his head, he lacked the confidence because on stage he could, they could put makeup on him, a wig, and, and cover that up, and he could dance and sing, and he was and in pictures, he was fine, he was gorgeous, he was, a sex symbol, because he had to sell his records. So, people buy records from people they find extremely attractive, and they can sing and talent, so he created that fantasy. But in real life, he's the one that had to look at himself as himself, right? So he lacked confidence. So he was not trying with kids, the honesty of kids, trying to show off or show them his spotted up penis, okay? And also his burned scalp. He wasn't trying to show kids that. So how is Wade and James, and then I don't remember Wade and James mentioning spotted up body. Okay. All right. Spotted up body. Okay. So I don't know how they're going to win the case. Just by saying, oh, poor me, I was molested. And I didn't like the anal sex at all. Okay. Nobody had ever accused Michael of anal penetration before. He just made it up. Wade and James made it so sickening that you just would have to believe it because it was, and that was a part of their con. Okay. Their con. Okay. And so there's 60 lies. So guys, here are the 2 videos that I did regarding the 60 lies. Okay. Of Leaving Neverland. Okay. Here's one, the 60 lies Leaving Neverland. And then I think if I go back, and then here is the 40. Okay, here's the one on the 40 lies of Leaving Neverland. Okay, 40 and 60. The date of these is April 2019. Okay, I don't know why my computer has locked up. It's locked up. Okay, so I hope I didn't lose everything that I needed. Oh man. Let's go back. Okay. All right. So, so I don't know where they're going to convince a jury that what they're saying is true. I just can't see it anywhere except for just believe the words coming out of my mouth, please. Right? That's it. That's all they got is words coming out of my mouth, please. Right? Right? Because Jordy, he said, we found out that Jordy's father just wanted money because he wanted Michael to pay for an extra wing on his house. He's a dentist. You pay your own bills. Okay. Then he asked Michael to help him finance Men in Tights, which was a Mel Brooks comedy. And Michael refused $20 million. Michael got his own stuff he wants to finance and his own ideas and his own stuff. Okay. And then he got mad and he said, I'm going to find the worst lawyer I can. And I'm going to, because he's friends with my son and I'm accused. Michael liked June, the mother. Okay. Because Jordy had a sister, right? Jordy had a sister. Michael liked June, had a crush on Jordy's mother, June. That's what came out in the 2005 trial. Okay. So Michael, being as shy as he is, he kind of gave the kids the attention while secretly he had a crush on June, the mama. Okay. People just have no idea. Okay. Because the media, they think that only thing that ever happened with Michael is stuff that comes on the news. As if Michael just does nothing until something happens on the news. No, he's got the same 24 hours in a day as we all do. Okay, he has the same 365 days a year as we all do. Okay, so that's Cecil calling, but I'm going to have to call him back because I'm on live right now. Okay, so with the Wade and James, they need 9 out of 12 jurors to say Michael is guilty. Okay, so I read somewhere that they said 50%. No, it's 3/4 of someone, and if they don't get 3/4 liable or not liable, it's a hung jury. Okay, so 9 out of 12. Okay, a couple of things. I think I've said enough. It's today is the fifth anniversary, unfortunately, to the death of Papa Joe Jackson, who we have to honor him for preparing and training and raising his children to entertain us and give us so many years of just fabulous happiness, excitement, charity. Oh my God, the charity, the movies, the happiness, the music, I mean, just so much. So thank you, Papa Joe. Somebody said Michael would have made it even without his father. No, he wouldn't have, because he got to have Joe's DNA. So people that talk that way, just stupid. You know, who was going to take him to rehearsals? Michael was not, and the Jackson family are not the only talented family in the world. They're not. They're not. There's plenty of talented family members that don't make it, okay, and don't reach the heights that the Jacksons reached. And we have to thank Papa Joe and Catherine for raising such wonderful, talented, generous, polite, well-mannered children, okay? All right? So thank you, Papa Joe, for that. You're not perfect, but for what your goal was, you was perfect, okay? And a lot of us got whoopings. Michael ain't the only one that ever got a whooping, okay? We all got whoopings. Most of us have. So I'm about tired of that, okay, too. All right. Let's see. I had talked about the possibility. I'm going to tell you something good about Papa Joe. Maybe I'll tell you. Oh, I'll do that in a minute. I'll get to that in a minute. Okay. I had talked about the possibility of leaving of the Michael Jackson biopic, Michael, to be postponed. And it could be postponed. We're going to find out July 30th if the Screen Actors Guild is going to strike. And if the Screen Actors Guild strikes, they can't start actual filming until then. But meanwhile, they proceed and get everything done. So when the strike is over, the next day they can go right ahead. Now, the Writers Guild does not affect, because if the guy's already finished the script, right? Or if he's under contract to finish the script, no matter if there's a strike or not a strike, then they're in. Okay, then they're in as far as writing is concerned. But as far as the Screen Actors Guild, I don't think they've hired all the actors. It's way too premature for that. They've hired Jafar Jackson to play Michael Jackson. So so we're going to find out, you know, if this right now, the Directors Guild, I heard, has decided not to strike. Not to join the strike, but the Screen Actors Guild is striking. All right, maybe striking. They voted yes to strike, but they're going to make the final decision in 3 days. Okay, so Prince, I guess he heard what I said about it being postponed. Maybe not. He posted a picture of himself and Shimon production meeting in process. Shimon is come on. Okay, that's what Michael was saying. Come on, Shimon, come on. Okay, so he is a part of the production team, and he's saying, and that was posted just yesterday. Okay, that was posted just yesterday. So they're going to continue in production as if, you know, there's no strike coming on. Okay, so then I want to show you guys something. Okay, all right. Yesterday, I went and got a facial. I got something good. Please don't stop listening. I got something good coming. Okay. Yesterday, I went and got a facial, right? Look at that. Look at my skin. Okay, even close up. That's me, 0 makeup. Okay, I went and got a facial. And, you know, it's unfortunate that I have haters, because I want to say where I went and got it, but I'm afraid that the haters going to call, you know, the place or call anybody that deals with me, because somebody did something and posted a lot of the believers' pictures. So, you know, but this is going to be handled. Okay, because it's harassment. Okay, we have freedom of speech, but you can't defame people because you don't like what they say. You know what I mean? Wade and James, they have a lawsuit going on right now. Okay, now if Wade and James and I thought for 1 second that there was something that substantiated their claims, I would say so. During the 2005 trial, believe me, when I say if Michael was guilty or not guilty. I'm open-minded. I want to know the truth. I want to get down to the truth. Okay, so anyway, I went and got a facial, and it was so beautiful. It was costly. My daughter got it for me for my birthday, and I just had a chance to go there and get the facial, and it was just wonderful. But they wrapped my hands in shea butter, in this bougie expensive. I think it was Kim Basinger, the actress, that opened the door for me. She was leaving as I was coming in. At least it looked like her. Of course, I ain't gonna say, are you Kim Basinger? Because it was an afterthought. I wonder if that was her. All right. And another famous person has some of my shea butter too. But anyway, so they wrap my hands in shea butter, right? And their age-defying stuff that they use, which is like over $100, I think, around $100, has shea butter in it too. So if you are going to use shea butter on your face, use a dab of it with your other stuff. Okay, so please order the Stays All Day Shea Fragrance Body Butter. It is, or just the unscented or the essential oils. It is so good for your skin. Okay, and then I had Nicole. Oh my God, I got to show you guys this. Okay, I got to show you guys Nicole. Nicole came, she had bought shea butter from me like maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago. And the reason why she recorded her testimony, but when I have in my Square plugged in, it does not record sound. It records a beep. And I did it before and I did it again. But anyway, she waited until I was finished with customers, and she walked up to me and warmed my heart. She says, I just wanted to thank you so much. My eczema is gone. My eczema is gone, and it only took a few weeks. She said, oh, Nicole was so sweet. And she said, I just wanted to hug you and just tell you thank you. Oh, look at that. That's Nicole. Okay, and she was saying that her eczema is gone. Look at her hand. Look at her arm. Okay, now I hadn't started doing before and afters, right? So I'm going to start doing before and afters. This other lady came up to me and she said her little baby had shea butter on her cheek. Had eczema on her cheeks, and the shea butter took it right off. Okay, so guys, either use an essential oil, bergamot, or unscented, or frankincense, or tea tree. Tea tree if you have scalp issues, because shea butter is good for dandruff and for moisturizing the scalp. But when you add the tea tree, it really helps if you have like even fungus on the toes. Tea tree is really good for. But if you have a dry scalp or rash in your hair or something, tea tree is really good. You have muscle soreness or arthritis, get the pine. Pine is really good for massages, really good for muscle soreness. Frankincense for the headache. If you have headaches, you need some aromatherapy. Frankincense. So go on my website, sheabutterperfumestore.com, and learn about all those things. Okay. Now, a couple of things with the actual estate. They did a couple of kind of interesting posts lately. So let's go to the estate. And I still got some stuff I got to tell you guys. So don't go away. Don't go away. I got a bombshell coming. Okay. And then you guys are going to say, how come we didn't notice that before? Because Michael's good at diversion. Really, really good at diversion. Okay. But you can't divert the FBI, the CIA, the LAPD, the Santa Barbara PD, Child and Family Services for 10 years. You ain't that good, okay? None of them found anything. None of them found anything to substantiate words coming out, extortion plot words coming out of people's mouth. Michael has been investigated. Oh, let's not forget the hundreds of journalists and stalkers like Diane Diamond, okay, who every time she went to go look for some proof that Michael was a molester, oh no, they lied. Oh no, I went to Canada and he just lied and they made it all up. Oh no, Victor Gutierrez, oh no. Victor Gutierrez told so many fantastical lies, and he's a gay guy. And so many fantastical lies that were just disgusting, okay, to Diane Diamond. Michael sued, won $2.7 million. and because she reported it on the hard copy. The hard copy is no longer on the air since around that fiasco. Okay, and Victor Gutierrez left the United States. Left. Okay, a lot of people don't say that. Diane Dimond has never, ever, ever been able to substantiate anything that proved that Michael Jackson was a molester. She is a failure. A failure. Okay, and she doesn't want to admit it. She has failed at every single solitary time. She thought, oh, we got him. Oh, we got him. 2005 trial, when she paid, Diane Dimond paid the Blanca Francia and the son $20,000 to lie on Michael Jackson. Okay, and I confirmed it because after they testified, I said to Diane, I asked her a question for her to confirm it, and she answered it. And if I think about it for a minute, I'll remember, because she was sitting behind me in the 2005 trial. Okay, she paid somebody $20,000 to lie on Michael Jackson. Okay, so anyway. So now we have the estate. Let me get the estate. Let me get this from the estate. Their posts, which two of them were interesting. And stay tuned, guys. Stay tuned. My daughter's so sweet. She just said, I'm glad you, yes, I will. Let me just answer. Yes, we will. We will. There. Okay. All right. So now we are going, and it's regarding Brandon Howard and Papa Joe Jackson. Okay. So, let's go to Michael Jackson. Here it is. And their last couple of posts. Okay. This is the post on June 25th. Okay. Here we go. All over the world today, people are gathered in love vigils to celebrate the life of a man that taught the world how to love. Reverend L. Sharpton's eulogy for Michael. It has been 14 years since Michael Joseph Jackson passing. See, they're putting it on Reverend Al Sharpton, and his influences continue to be felt in so many ways as he continued to be missed by millions, if not billions. See, they put the Michael Joseph Jackson as something that Al Sharpton has said. Okay. Or maybe Al Sharpton said, all over the world today, people are gathered in love vigils. No, to celebrate the life of a man that taught the world how to love. Maybe Al Sharpton said that. Now, 14 years, Michael Joseph Jackson. Who's that? Okay, who's that? The estate is not telling the truth. They're purposely misleading. Purposely. Okay, they know his name is Michael Joe Jackson. They got the driver's license from Jeffrey. And TMZ, Freedom of Information Act, posted the last driver's license. And we got copies of 2 other driver's licenses from Michael Jackson. Okay, so it's all just, come on. You purposely misleading the people because his name is Michael Joe Jackson, not Michael Joseph Jackson. And not one death document uses the name of Michael Joe Jackson, his real name. Okay, and they're teetering on some really weird stuff with the name game for the name game for this upcoming trial. That might happen, might not happen, but it's closer to happening. Okay, so that one. So the Michael Joseph Jackson. So the state is purposely misleading, just like Taj did. Okay. Purposely, because all you have to do is Google his driver's licenses. That's it, to know his name and his U.S. passport. That's all. That's all you got to do. Oh, and their own movie that Jermaine was the producer, American Dream. When Michael's born, Catherine says Michael Joe Jackson. I mean, it's all there. Jermaine's book, page 43. Okay, Michael Joe Jackson. Okay, LaToya's already confirmed Michael Joe Jackson. Right? There's a letter signed by 6 of the Jacksons that say Michael Joe Jackson. Okay, so it's just nonsense that they keep doing that. Okay, and so they're purposely misleading fans that don't know any better. Okay, so now we have this. I really like this one though. I really like this one. Okay, Michael Jackson. People used to underestimate my ability as a songwriter. When I started coming up with songs, they'd look at me like, who really wrote that? ? But time cleared up those misconceptions. You always have to prove yourself to people, and so many of them don't want to believe. Okay. There's so many fans out there that think Michael being alive and escaping bull crap like the Wade and James situation. And by the way, the Wade and James situation, I wonder if that's going to couple with the release of the Michael biopic as a publicity. I'm just saying. Right now it's totally up in the air because of the writers' strike and the soon-to-be Screenwriters Guild strike. We'll find out in a few days what's going to happen. Okay, but so far, so everybody who's saying there's 100% trial, there's not 100% trial, but it's up in the 90s. Okay, percent trial. All right, so don't want to believe, and I think that Michael had that there's so many of them out there, the misconceptions they don't want to believe. It's because, hey fans, they're still lining up at Forest Lawn when there's no name on the grave. He's not listed in their database, has never been enlisted as their database. And they're saying, well, they don't list celebrities, but everybody already knows that he's supposed to be buried there. Right? So if he's, and Forest Lawn has said many times, they told me on the phone in September, October of 2009, just a month after, September, October, because it was the 3rd of September when he was supposed to be buried there, right? So I called September, October, right? And they told me, ma'am, we don't have Michael's body and we've never had it, okay? Told many other fans, which I have in the live docuseries, and there's even a recording of a fan calling Forest Lawn, and Forest Lawn saying, we don't have Michael's body at any of our facilities. Okay, and now, then after that, they start saying, it's private, it's private, it's private. It's not private. They don't have his body, and his body wasn't there, and he was not cremated. Okay, because if he was cremated, he'd just be cremated, right? Then you put an urn inside of a place where fans can still go and visit. Okay, a source said that Catherine said. An unnamed source said that Catherine said the body was cremated and the ashes were under the pear tree. Oh yeah, and they were trying their damnedest to sell Neverland too, right? I mean, it's all just nonsense. One lie leads to another lie that leads to another lie. And I am, a little bit perturbed that I'm thought of as the crazy person or I'm thought of as the bad guy when I am telling the absolute truth. There is nothing to fear learning that Michael faked his death, especially under the circumstances of him being bullied, all the lies, all the accusations, trying to put him in jail for 20 years, his life being as complicated as it was, just so much Debbie Rowe and her stuff with the kids and Mark Schaffel, and, it was a lot. It's a lot. So he was like, dang, this is all complicated. Oh my God, my gullibility has gotten me into just a mess. So I'm out of here. I gotta kill the pop star. It's time to kill the pop star so the human being can live, right? And that's what he did. He killed the pop star. Okay, but people think that the real person, the human being, died, but the human being did not die. Okay, all right. So Michael says, so many of them don't want to believe. Okay, yeah, they don't want to believe. And I'm telling the truth about it. But he said something else, too, that's very interesting. It says, people used to underestimate my ability as a songwriter, right? Listen to this. When I started coming up with songs, they look at me like, who really wrote that? Okay, he said, but time cleared up those misconceptions. You always have to prove yourself to people, and so many of them don't want to believe. All right, let's look up the lyrics to Billie Jean. Let's look that up. Michael wrote that song. Michael didn't have anybody write that song but him. So let's do Billie Jean lyrics. Let's look at those, okay? All right. And I've never reported this. I'm getting ready to report something good. I have never, ever reported. You know what? I like Google. I really don't like Yahoo because it always hourglasses too much. Whenever I ask Yahoo something, and then there's too many ads. Okay, Google is good. I like Google. I really like Google. Okay, so let's do Billie Jean lyrics. Michael wrote this song. Okay, Michael wrote this song. So a lot of people, all they hear, Billie Jean is not my son. He's not my son. He's not my son. He's not my son. But they missed the lyrics of 40 Days and 40 Nights, which was symbolism for 40-week pregnancy. Okay. They missed the lyrics of him saying, the lie becomes the truth. Okay, okay, here are the Billie Jean lyrics. Okay, all right, so here he goes. And be careful of what you do, because the lie becomes the truth. So he is saying that he thought it was a lie, but the lie was true. So during the pregnancy, back in the 1980s, right, during 1980, because Brandon was born April 2nd, 1981, right? At least that's what everything tells me. He was born then, right? He was saying, denying it while the baby was cooking in Mickey Howard's belly, and then it became the truth. Right? She's just a girl who claimed that I am the one, but the kid is not my son. Okay? Now, how did he know it was a son and a daughter? Back then, you could not tell if when somebody was pregnant, if it was a girl or a boy. You had to find out and wait later. I mean, they had ultrasounds, but a lot of times I don't think they told me if I was having a girl or a boy. And my daughter was born in 86. Okay? Brandon was born in 81. Okay, but he's saying, but the kid is not my son, right? Okay, but the kid, for 40 days and 40 nights, the law was on her side. But who can stand when she's in demand, because she's the one carrying the baby, her schemes and plans, because we danced on the floor in the round. So take my strong advice, just remember to think twice before you have sex. She told my baby we danced till 3. If he really was releasing the song in 84, when was Billie Jean released? Brandon would have been next to 3, which means he would have been 2, right? I think the lyric was really, she told my baby was next to 3. Then she looked at me, then showed a photo of my baby, cried. His eyes were just like mine. Oh, no. So he is saying when he looked at the baby's eyes were just like mine. Oh, no. See, he uses word me. Mine. Okay, he's saying, I said don't mind. This is him saying, I am the one. This is him. He's saying, this is me, this is me, this is me. I, my, mine, mine. Okay, all over again. Okay, I am the one. I said don't mind. Okay, I'm getting somewhere. I am the one, not my son. Eyes were just like mine. This is his testimony. This is his story. He's telling it about his experience, right? Now, his eyes were just like mine. Oh, no. He told you the truth in the song, but he just repeated, not my lover, not my lover, not my son so many times that we forgot that he was testifying in this, saying that he had a baby out of wedlock, okay, and that a girl trapped him because she was in control during the pregnancy because the baby's in her belly, right? But the eyes were just like mine. So people want to say that Papa Joe is Brandon's father because Mickey was managed by Joe Jackson. Okay, so we have Joseph Walter Jackson. Okay, Joseph Walter Jackson. Eye color. Okay. Eye color. Okay. Joseph had blue or green eyes. Green eyes. Joseph has green eyes. Joseph has green eyes. Michael said the eyes were just like mine. He didn't have to write that lyric in there, right? So definitely, if he was talking about Papa Joe, he wouldn't have said the eyes are just like mine because Joe has green eyes, not brown eyes. Michael has brown eyes. Brandon has brown eyes. Okay, so let's do Michael Jackson, Brandon, Howard. Now, Mickey was the beauty contestant. Okay, I mean, he tells you the whole who she is. She was a beauty queen. Okay, she was almost a beauty queen, right? Because he tells you everything in this song. How could we not think Brandon's not Michael's kid? I mean, if you really, she was more like a beauty queen from a movie scene. Oops. Oh no, what did I do? Oh no. Oh gosh, what did I do? Hey guys, I don't know what I did here. I'll just put apply. I'm back. Okay. She was more like a beauty queen from a movie scene. I said, don't mind, but what do you mean? I am the one. Okay? What do you mean? We only had sex once. Twice, maybe 3, 4 times. Who knows? Right? Who knows? Right? They had sex. And at the time, Michael didn't have vitiligo. His vitiligo was not a major problem. Just a couple little spots here and there. Nothing. Okay? Michael didn't have the Pepsi burn. Right? So his confidence with women was way higher. Right? Until the vitiligo, after he started going to Dr. Klein's and Debbie Rowe. Okay? Right? Everything not black came out of Dr. Klein's office. Okay? I'm just saying. And that's a fact. Okay? That's a fact. Right? All right. So, so he wouldn't have said the eyes are just like mine if he's talking about Papa Joe. Because Papa Joe's eyes are green. Okay, so now we're going to do Michael Jackson. Here we go. I'm talking about eyes are just like mine. My God. I'm sorry. Hey, I didn't do this. I didn't do this. Everything matches. Everything matches with Michael and Brandon Howard. It all matches. And Mickey Howard. Mickey lived at the house. Mickey lived at the house. Eyes were just like mine. Joe's eyes are green. So not Joe's child, right? Mickey's 19 years old, right? When you're 19 and you see a 50-year-old is old. Now that I'm 60, 50-year-old ain't that old, right? But when you're 19, you do not want no parts of having sex with a 50-year-old man, especially when fine-ass Michael Jackson is in the house. Come on now. There is no way on earth that Mickey Howard did not want to get with Michael Jackson and wouldn't do everything in her power to get with that. Because we as black girls, through Motown and watching little cute-ass Michael Jackson, come on. We all wanted to marry him. All of us. And if you were way older, you might have picked Jermaine. You might have picked... Oprah says she wanted to marry Jackie because Michael was too young for her. Okay? But there is no way. And Catherine's in the house with Papa Joe. And 19-year-old Mickey is going to pick Papa Joe over Michael? It's impossible. And furthermore, Joe had a son named Brandon that died one day after birth with Catherine. There is no way that Catherine would have allowed Brandon in her home, just like she didn't allow Giovanni in her home. Brandon grew up at the Jackson camp. Joe was the fixer. Okay? There's no way that Catherine would be okay with Joe having a baby with another woman and name that baby the same name as her dead son, Brandon, who is Marlon's twin. It's impossible. Brandon grew up in that house. Joe was the fixer. They had everything set up for Michael to be the biggest star in the world. It's pre-Thriller. Off the Wall has sold more albums than any other black solo artist to date. Right? All right? Michael has a $750,000 budget for the next album. Right? Distribution is set up. Michael won awards. Everything is set up. Michael also thought at the time, when 3 of his brothers got married at 18, Tito, Jermaine, and Tito, Jermaine, and Marlon. All 3 of them got married at 18 years old. Okay? Michael thought that they had ruined their image because he said that fans bought our records and loved them because they were bachelors and they had the fantasy that they could one day marry them. So Michael having a child or getting married right before his biggest opportunity that he's ever had in his whole entire life, since he's been working for it since he was 5 years old, and now he's, 23? He's 23 years old, 24, because it came out in 82, right? Came out in 82, right? And let's see, when did Thriller come out? I'm pretty sure November 30th, 1982, Thriller released. When was Thriller released? Okay. When was Thriller released? I'm pretty sure I'm right. Okay. Come on. Ugh. I'm not. See, that's why I don't like. I like Google, but my default is Yahoo. When was Thriller released by Michael Jackson? Thriller was released November 29th, 11/11. 11/11! 11/11, 1982 is when Thriller was released. 11/11. Michael and his 11/11, November 29th. That's also the day that Conrad Murray was sentenced. Okay, was 11/11, and Michael had 11/11/11 written down. Okay, under the Best of Joy lyrics, and 11 is one of his favorite numbers because when you're rolling craps and you're gambling, 7 and 11s are instant winners. Okay, so 11/11 is when it came out. Okay, when was Billie Jean released? When was Billie Jean released? By Michael Jackson. Okay, it was Billie Jean was released January 2nd, 1983. Right? 1983. So Brandon would have been turning 2. In a few months. But he said his baby was next to 3. Even though he said dance till 3. I think he said next to 3. But since he wasn't quite 3, he changed the lyrics to dance till 3. But he meant next to 3. But since he wasn't next to 3, he changed the lyrics to dance till 3. Okay, because in the lyrics, it all makes sense that the lyrics, where's dance till 3? Let's see. Okay, she told my baby we danced till 3 when she looked at me, then showed a photo. My baby cried. His eyes were like mine. Oh, no. He had to admit, oh, no, I've been wrong all this time. Oh, no. Oh, no, the baby is mine. It is mine. She had a smell of sweet perfume. He said she seduced him. This happened much too soon. She called me to her room. Okay? People always told me to be careful what you do and don't go around breaking young girls' hearts. She came and stood right by me. Just the smell of sweet perfume. This happened much too soon. She called me to her room. Okay? He's telling you how he was seduced. How she was all pretty and fine and a beauty queen, and she came in there, Mickey Howard, beauty queen. Let's do it. Let's do it. Okay. Ugh. I got to change my default to Google because I keep messing with it. Okay. Mickey Howard, teen beauty contestant. Okay. Here we go. Here it is. I'm telling y'all. Okay, Mickey Howard releases new single, Throw It Away. She got her first big break when she entered a teen beauty contestant. She was spotted by Augie Johnson, the leader of Side Effect, and impressed Mickey's talent. Mickey, here it is, when she participated in a teen beauty contest. I'm telling y'all, former beauty contestant, Mickey Howard. Okay, well, I'm just not that. Mickey Howard, she was a teen beauty contestant. You guys can research that some more. So he's telling you exactly who she is. Me, mine, I. Eyes were just like mine. Oh no. 40 days, 40 nights. She seduced me with her sweet perfume. He is confessing that he is a father. And he just covered all that up. The lie becomes the truth. Well, it's not my lover, not my lover, not my lover, not my lover. Billie Jean is not my lover, not my lover. He's saying he lied, but the lie became the truth, and she was. And when he looked at the baby, that's why I said next to 3. He changed it to dance till 3, but he is describing the baby was next to 3 because he talks about a photograph. And he talks about eyes were just like mine. So he is not, dance till 3. I don't know, but next to 3, but he came out early, so baby was next to 3 would have been 2, but he was really just 1, soon to be 2. Okay, Brandon now is 42 years old, because he was born in 81, so he's 42 years old and still a part of the Jackson family. Okay, so eyes just like mine. Papa Joe's eyes are blue. Also, Brandon looks like Catherine. He doesn't look like Joe. Okay, I posted that somewhere. And he can look a little like Joe because Joe's genes are still there. Joe is his grandfather. Yeah, so he can look a little like Joe. But he looks like Catherine. And he wouldn't look like Catherine if, hold on, let me put that. He wouldn't look like Catherine if it was Mickey and Joe's child, because that means none of Catherine's genes are in Brandon if it was Joe and Mickey's. But eyes were just like mine. Joe's eyes are green. Okay, so where did I show the pictures of Catherine? And I posted some pictures of Catherine and Brandon. Catherine, Brandon. I know I posted some pictures of Here we go. Here we go. Brandon looks like Catherine. Doesn't look like Joe. And if he did, so what? You know, Michael, he's still his grandfather. But Catherine's genes would not be there. Okay? Brandon looks like Catherine. Brandon looks like Catherine. Hold on. I'll show you another one. Brandon looks like Catherine. There you go. Brandon looks like Catherine. And the gap in the tooth, look, Catherine had that little gap in her tooth that she got fixed. She had that little gap just like Brandon. Okay? So we got to stop the nonsense about it being Joe's child. Come on. And then Mickey, Billie Holiday. Mickey played Billie Holiday. She did an album about Billie Holiday. Okay, you guys want me to show you that too? Okay, and there's more stuff. And there's more. Okay, Mickey Howard, Billie Holiday. That's why Michael called her Billie Jean, because she loved Billie Holiday. It all just freaking matches. Oh, I hate that I have Cecil change my default. I don't know how to do it. Okay, because Google is still hourglassing. Okay, when I put in Mickey Howard, and she signed an NDA. She said she can't tell. Mickey Howard, Billie Holiday, and she even played Billie Holiday in the Spike Lee movie. Okay, Mickey Howard sings Billie Holiday. Here we go. I'm telling y'all, it just fits. Every piece fits. Okay, in director Spike Lee's 1992 biopic film Mickey Howard, Malcolm X, Howard portrayed jazz singer Billie Holiday. Mickey Sings Billie, a tribute to Billie Holiday, is a studio album by American R&B singer Mickey Howard. And then that voice, that little voice comes from Catherine. It don't come from Joe. Okay, Brandon has a voice just like Michael's. Okay, when they talk, it's just like Michael's. And even when he sings, but it's a little bit different, but you can still see, if he had been known as Michael's son the whole time, everybody'd be like, you just like Michael, you just like him, you just like him. He is just like him. And Joe was the fixer. So Joe made sure that they hid it, and Michael just couldn't. He just had to be honest at the time. He's just so religious and just had to be honest that he wrote the song where he feels like, I told the world that I had a son. I said the lie becomes the truth, and I said eyes were like mine, oh no, and you know how she came in the room and she seduced me with her sweet perfume, and I said she was a beauty contestant, and so I did tell the truth, right? I was just denying it when I didn't know for sure during the pregnancy. That's what that song is about. But after they hid it and they hired Augie Johnson to be the fake dad, that was part of fixing it, to be the fake dad, because Augie's on the Off the Wall album, so we know that Off the Wall that they were there at the same time, okay? Because he met when Mickey was a teen beauty contestant, right? So Augie's doing Off the Wall in the late 70s, 78, 79, right? Mickey gets pregnant in 1980, right? Brandon's born in 81. And Thriller is written in 81, 82. It just all fits. It just all fits. All right, so I think that is it. Let me make sure my notes, if I got everything. All right, so anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Papa Joe ain't Brandon's father. Michael is, and Michael told us he was. Okay, so anyway, please watch my live docuseries. Also, you see my skin? And they put shea butter on. So make sure that you order Stays All Day Shea. Let's do work and play. Because everybody's got skin. Let me show you guys something here. Okay, let me show you something. I want to show you guys something because everybody does have skin, right? Of course, right? Instagram. Let me show you, okay? On my page, I sell it to everybody, okay? I have me, I have an Asian woman, I have a black guy, I think he's gay. I have a white woman sweet, all of them sweet, Hispanic, black woman. I mean, everybody loves the shea butter. So it works on all skin types. All right, and with that, go to Stays All Day Shea or SheaButterPerfumeStore.com and order some Stays All Day Shea. I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye-bye.